Hey everyone, Cody from Mac Telecom Networks. I just arrived home from the Ubiquiti World Conference in downtown Chicago, and I must say that was one of the best experiences of my life. Now, I'm doing this intro to tell you that I won't be talking about any unreleased products as I'm not allowed to. So if that's what you wanted to see, you might want to skip this video. What I'm going to be talking about is my experience at the Ubiquiti World Conference and talk about some of the keynotes that were presented. I do have a bit of footage that I could show of the entrance to the Ubiquiti World Conference, but I could say 2024 is going to be a great time for new releases. All right, everybody, it's just after 3 in the morning. I'm really tired, but we are heading to Chicago for the Ubiquiti World Conference. So let's say bye to the girls and get heading to the airport. Day one at the Ubiquiti World Conference, and we're going to do a room tour, what we have right now. Jay and I are sharing a room. It's 9 in the morning. He might be having a barley, but we got these 2 double beds. It's a pretty nice hotel. We'll show the rest of the hotel a little later on, maybe tomorrow when we go down to the actual conference. But looking out the window, we can see the lake. Not sure which one it is.
Michigan.
Lake Michigan, big Ferris wheel. Maybe we'll go try that today. Not too sure. We're going to the museum as well as the aquarium, which is going to be cool. Massive building there. Turn around this way. We got the mirror. Got a nice TV.
Could go to a sports game, but...
Could go to sports game, but I don't watch sports. Coffee. Then we look down, and it's a full bar that I told Jay to try to stay out of because they will charge me an arm and a leg for. We have the mirrors and things like that. And then the bathroom, which is pretty nice. I mean... nothing really wrong with it. So now we're gonna head out, I guess, and we'll show some more of the Ubiquiti World Conference when it actually takes place, which is on Tuesday. Today's Monday. Hopefully we do see some new things. Now this is the lobby to the Ritz Motel, which is a very nice hotel, probably the nicest one that I've stayed in, and where the Ubiquiti World Conference is being held in downtown Chicago. Right at the beginning, we could see a VIP lounge, which must have been for Robert Pera and some guests. And then walking in at 8:30 when the gates released, we have some refreshments, so coffee. And you could see a bunch of access points on the right-hand side. We'll talk about that in a minute. There was a check-in, and we could see what was happening for the day on the Connect screens. It said that we weren't allowed to take any video or any picture. Now, why is there this huge wall of U7 Pros? Well, everybody who attended the Ubiquiti World Conference got one to take home, which was very, very nice of Ubiquiti to do. Now, there was a massive video wall that just showed Ubiquiti videos playing over and over, but behind that, there was a table with a bunch of gear, which was featuring old gear and new gear, and a lot of it you're going to be very excited about. Now, for the rest of this, we're just going to be looking at screenshots of the presentations and the keynotes, and we're going to be talking about a little bit about what they said, but nothing about new products, of course. And I'm getting all of these pictures from Wireless Nerd over on Twitter. I will put their description down below. They have a lot of great information about the Ubiquiti World Conference. The first presentation was the main keynote with Robert Pera, which was really refreshing to see. At the beginning of the keynote, Robert Pera was talking about the history of Ubiquiti from where it all started. Some of you may or may not know that Robert Pera worked for Apple before he started Ubiquiti, and you could probably see that in the design aspects and the packaging of how they lay it out. Robert Pera was really down to earth and also mentioned a lot of the downfalls of some of the Unifi products. At the very beginning, he was talking about Unifi OS 1.0 and all the pain points it had with resetting and trying to troubleshoot the UDMs. He also mentioned other pain points like high availability and how it's really not high availability at this time where we need manual intervention, but that is coming soon and it's going to be completely automated. Now, one thing he did say is that there's 11 new Wi-Fi products coming out in 2024, and what I think those could be is something like a U7 Enterprise, maybe a U7 in-wall, and maybe some more meshing devices. He also mentioned some things about how they're going to be entering into the enterprise market, and this is going to be very cool, and the hardware is awesome. I can't tell you specifics about what that's going to be, but it's going to be under the Unifi network as well as Unifi Protect. At the end, Robert did a Q&A, which was about a half hour long, but it was just towards what he was speaking about in the presentation. I did ask on Twitter what you want to know, but none of those questions were really relevant to that, so I didn't ask them, unfortunately. Now, next up is Tom from Ubiquiti, and he was talking about Wi-Fi 7 and gave us a basic understanding of what Wi-Fi 7 is and the scalability that will become within Ubiquiti. He did an amazing job with the presentation, seeing as this was his first presentation as well. It was also great to meet him in person, as I always talked to him through the Discord, and now I could put a face to the name. We then had a presentation from Dale DeRoziev, the principal wireless engineer for the Memphis Grizzlies, and if you don't know, Robert Pera does own that basketball team. I will put his Twitter handle down in the description below, but pretty much we saw the wireless design of that full stadium and how to make it scalable. And they're doing this all with Ubiquiti products. So they have a bunch of the base station XGs, and they're also using about 300 access points. They have a bunch of switches scattered around the stadium and maybe a firewall that's a little higher powered than the UDM, but watch out for more about that later this year. The stadium could hold about 18,000 people, but the guest peak average is about 5,000, and they have it working perfectly throughout the whole stadium or in the key areas. Maybe I'll see if Daryl's up to doing a video together and he could explain exactly what's happening within that stadium. I think it would be really cool for you guys to hear. Now, next up was Andre from Ubiquiti talking about physical security, and this included Unifi Access and Unifi Protect, and there are some really cool things that are coming out software-wise in the future, and maybe we'll see some other hardware developments. It was a really good keynote, and it shows the great integration between Unifi Access and Unifi Protect. The one thing we didn't really hear Ubiquiti talk about this whole conference was anything about Unifi Talk. I was really hoping that we were going to see some new talk phones, but I can tell you the soft phone is a real thing, and hopefully they don't make me cut this out of the video. And the last presentation was from Will, and this really covered more about the professional services, as well as things like Unifi.ui.com and the Portal Wizard and their new Unifi GPT. Now, with the Ubiquiti professional support, they do now have a phone number that you could call, and that professional support is a paid-for service. It's a 24-hour service, but it's only from Monday to Friday, and maybe we'll see it come 7 days a week. The main question people are asking to Will is, will there be a package for MSPs instead of doing single site where we could do multiple site, because we don't really need the support all the time. They also said that UI Care is expanding to other products, and it's actually going to be going over to distributors, which I think is really good. Now, that's going to be it for my adventure at the Ubiquiti World Conference, and if you ever get a chance to go do it, I would highly recommend it. It was an extremely fun time with a lot of like-minded individuals. To the 100+ people who came up and spoke to me, asked for pictures, or just wanted to have a chat, thank you very much. It was the most humbling experience of my entire lifetime. And I will be going to other Ubiquiti events when they're in North America. And who knows, maybe I'll go to one that's in other parts of the world. This isn't the typical video that I do, but I thought I'd share my experience at the Ubiquiti World Conference. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. All right, thanks.